So this is a different type of video, first time I've ever done this, where I actually go through the comments in my YouTube, program, and I apologize for the vertical screen here, but it will not, it doesn't rotate. So we'll just see how this is kind of like a test video. I want you to let me know what you think of it, and if you would like me to do it more. So right now we're looking at my published comments here. Go ahead and refresh it. Okay, so this is a recent comment on an older video I made on an aux beam light, and they're asking, how do you power the light? And I explained that it was two 9-volt batteries, and that they last about 20 or 30 minutes. But so that's what that's about. And I run the 9-volt batteries in a series, so that way you have the 18 volts, and it worked pretty good. And that particular light, a lot of people were talking about how it doesn't have the right lumens, and the wattage is off and all this stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I don't work for that company, so I don't know for sure if it's if their comments are valid. But anyways, I thought it was a pretty cool light for the amount of money you spend on it. It was cheap, and it has a lot of uses. So alright, so this is the Tiguan, Volkswagen Tiguan. I used to own a 2012 Tiguan, love it. Okay, so somebody's adding in their experience with one. That's always good. Okay, so if you get a choice to choose any one out of the Land Cruiser, Patrol, Nissan Patrols, that's not in the United States, but I know what they're talking about, and Lexus, which one would you choose? On the basis, I guess, of the features. But there's a big price difference in these vehicles. So as far as money aside, I would probably go with the Lexus, because the Lexus is like, has more features, and it has more, just it's kind of like a Land Cruiser on steroids. So I would go with that. But of course, the price is a big, there's no real right or wrong answer here. It's cost and benefits. So if you look at the amount of benefits you get relative to the price, it's a subjective thing. So if it was just like, hey, they're all the same price, I'd go with, of course, Lexus myself. All right, thanks for the great review. Best, wow, that's awesome. I like hearing that. That's my aim, actually, is to go try to make the absolute best I could possibly do, and hopefully that will be the best out there available. But so that's my aim, is to be the best. So we'll see how it goes. Not sure what they're trying to do here. I guess he's saying, is no options for leather. There is no backup cam and no moonroof. WTF. Well, maybe those are features that will be available in the future. And also, this is the base model. I did a video of the base model. I haven't seen the premium yet, but as soon as that premium gets out there, I'll do a video of that and see if it adds any of these things. But if these are something that you're looking for, then maybe this is the wrong vehicle. This is a fairly low price vehicle that's pretty cool, but it's not going to be the most feature-rich vehicle out there. Alright, so Genesis is like Acura, Lexus of Hyundai. Nice work. They already got Acura beat in terms of luxury. Yeah, Acura, I don't know, they're not what they used to be. When you actually compare them to Honda, from what I've seen anyway, Honda seems to be on par with Acura, and sometimes better right now. Alright, awesome. Keep it up. Thank you very much on that. Beautiful girl, yeah. That's a nice car. The Challenger. I love the Challenger. And the Scat Pack is probably one of my favorites for the price. Anyway, that's a really good vehicle. Why is it on 14? Yeah, that video, I don't know if what's going on with YouTube, but I uploaded it in 4K, and it's on my desktop computer, it's like stuck at 1440p, and then on my phone I can go up to 720p. last time I checked anyway. So I don't know what YouTube's taking its time for processing all the different sizes or whatever. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. And I uploaded that video yesterday. So I don't know, you know, YouTube has issues. There was one time I actually literally had to just take the video down and re-upload it for it to actually process. So I don't know if that's the case with this one or not, but it is a, you know, over 40-minute long video, and it's in 4K, so I can understand maybe they, you know, it takes a long time to process it, but we'll see. You know, let me know if that video is working for you, the new Genesis G80 video. If you can check it for me on, you know, your computer and all that, and make sure that you're able to go, you know, the full range of resolutions. That 2 buttons on helm with plus and minus for what it to change gear. Yes, yeah, that's our. I understand you. English isn't your first language here, but yeah, it's basically paddle shifters to shift through the gear ratios with the automatic transmission. It's electronically controlled transmission with the ability to change gears using the electrical controls through the eight gear ratios. The Crosstrek and the Outback have the same ground clearance, but still good video. Yeah. When we were making that video, I was like, that doesn't sound right. And yeah, he made a mistake in there. Yeah, they both have the same, you know, ground clearance, and so stuff like that happens. I hope you mentioned that Toyota collaborated with Mazda with this car, and it is America's version of the Mazda 2. Even the engine is Mazda's 1.5 liter. So yeah, it's just like a rebranded Mazda 4, understand. But yeah, it's not a I don't, on these type of videos, I don't go into the history too much or the backstory too much on that, because it's just out of the scope of what I'm trying to do. My goal is to show the vehicle and not get distracted on where it's manufactured, who manufactured it, all the different processes, who designed it, because a lot of manufacturers do this where they have rebranded, like Lexus is put out by Toyota and all this stuff. So I don't really go into all that stuff, and it's really for what the vehicle is. It is what it is and what it can do for you. If somebody were to buy this Toyota Yaris IA and drive around and it meets all their needs, the gas mileage is good, it fits their all their details, all their specifications and requirements, and they like it, and they're driving it for 6 months, and then you say, hey, you know what, this is actually a Mazda 2 rebranded as a Toyota. I don't think it's going to change their perception of the vehicle. They're still going to match all their needs and all that stuff. So I try to focus on the meat and potatoes, the practicality, the pragmatic view of the vehicle, and some of the backstory and stuff like that. This really working with thousands of customers, hundreds of customers, and directly, and thousands of people online. This is usually irrelevant to what they're looking for when they're actually putting their money down. So some people get sidetracked on a lot of side issues that the actual buyer is not usually, and most people don't get hung up on that. They don't get tripped up on that particular stuff. So this is awesome. Ultimate in-depth socks review. So I've tried to point this out and try to highlight this. Brock Frady, that helped me out with this video, and he did a majority of it because he is the actual Lexus expert here. He has this thing in his videos where he has these really eye-catching socks. He has these, you have to just see them anyway, so I have a link in there, but where he wore really bright or just kind of goofy socks or whatever, and he highlights those in his videos because he's sitting in the car and he's looking down, and of course your socks are sticking out like a sore thumb with his pant legs pulled up, and so he kind of mentions them in the video. So that's kind of a little just a little fun, a little humor that I kind of try to highlight so people can be more aware about of it. So this person's saying that's his dream car. Yeah, that's an awesome car, Avalon. All right, so this guy is promoting. If you're in Southern California looking for more information or interested in the G80, G80, I'm your guy. So he's a sales expert. Okay. Now, Carlos, I just want to mention something here. If I hadn't checked your channel yet, but if I go to your channel and there's nothing there, it's empty, then I'm gonna have to push back a little bit on your sales expert claim. So better have some awesome videos, multiple videos of the G80 and talking about, all of your different products that you sell, and quite a bit of content there, because you're on my video. I understand, it's fine to promote and everything, but I make a video for everybody to get the information, but the reason why I'm making it is because the sales experts are not doing a good job. So yeah, I'm gonna go on your channel when I get some time and see what's there. Hopefully there's a bunch of stuff there, and that's all good. Nice introduction, thank you. That's why I really work hard to try to give a good introduction, a good roundabout showing what I'm going to go over the vehicle, what I'm going to go over on the vehicle, and that way, instead of just explaining, hey, I'm going to show you the engine, I'm going to show you this and that and this and that, I actually just go over and kind of pan through the main shots and show you instead of tell you what I'm going to go over. Okay, so Hyundai is such a copycat. They stole some Chrysler and Dodge Charger looks in the front and a little botch of Mercedes. That is why I will never buy a Kia or Hyundai cars. Okay. Well, I don't see it, but maybe you do, and that's fine. If you don't want to buy them, that's fine. What do you want to bet those grill shutters always fail in the closed position? That would suck, because your engine would lose a lot of its cooling, and that could be a major deal. I don't know. I don't know if they're spring-loaded and they have to be closed using a servo type motor, but that's a good question. If anybody's had an issue with the grill shutters failing, whether they be open or shut, just kind of leave it a comment here, because that would be definitely an issue. But I haven't heard about that, but we'll see. Did I actually see true dual exhaust? Yes, you did. Yeah, that was good. It has a true dual exhaust on the V6 there, and that's nice. Beautiful vehicle. I agree. It's amazing. Wish Hyundai had a different name. Like what? Leave some suggestions there. Like different. Let's see. Give me some suggestions. Really? 38 grand. The interior looks as plain and cheap as a little Honda hatchback. Well, cheap. The thing about Wranglers is, if you're going through mud, then you want surfaces that are durable, as far as there's no dirt and things are not going to get stuck in there, and you want to have a vehicle that you can that's going to be able to withstand all that, and basically be able to hose it out and all that. So just because it's plastic and it doesn't have leather wrapped around the plastic or some kind of pleather material or something like that, doesn't necessarily mean it's cheap. If you look at the plastics that are used in vehicles, a hard plastic in a vehicle, and I notice a lot of other people that make videos, they see a hard plastic and they instantly say cheap, but they don't know the designers of the car specifically design that particular plastic and weigh all the flexibility, the heat resistance, the you know, the hardness. There's a lot of variables in there in which they have to mix it, like, you know, chemists or whatever. So each material in the vehicle is specifically designed for a particular purpose. So, you know, is it a polypropylene? Is it a, you know, what do you mean by cheap? You know, I mean, it doesn't, just because you hear somebody say cheap doesn't mean it's cheap. And it's probably suited for its particular purpose. And all vehicles have plastic, so I don't get the whole problem there. Okay, so, hey Mike, which luxury manufacturers do you have access to? It depends on what you classify as luxury, but if you're thinking of, like, say, Porsche and Mercedes and BMW and, you know, some of these manufacturers, I don't have access to those. I have access, and the reason why is because, one thing, there's not a lot of those particular dealerships around here, and the ones that are around, it's really, I'm telling you, it's hard in this area. I guess it's this area, I don't know, you know, where else, but it's not easy to approach, it's not easy to gain access to some of these vehicles for videos. I've reached out to different manufacturers, but unless you know somebody, that they just don't know, they don't respond to anything you say. And so when I go to dealerships, they don't, you know, they think I'm trying to sell them something or whatever, so they don't really understand a lot of them. So, you know, the dealerships that some of the dealerships that I work with now, it took a while for them to understand what I'm trying to do and to gain access to the vehicles. So yeah, I would like to have all manufacturers, but, you know, it's not as easy as just having it. I mean, you have to, there's a relationship you have to establish, and if the people on the other end don't understand what's going on, or they, you know, they don't just, it's funny because they'll let anybody off the street just walk up and drive the car, actually get in it and start driving on the highway. But if you approach it with a camera aiming at the car, then they flip out for whatever reason. I don't understand it. But anyways, it's been a very uphill battle trying to get more brands. What a great truck. Best dash layout of any truck for sure. This guy has the best overviews. Awesome, man. I really appreciate that. And yeah, the Ram trucks are nice. Thanks, I'll be getting one of these soon. Now I gotta look into a jammer. Okay. So yeah, this radar detector is pretty good for the price. I mean, it really helps out. And I'm not a big speeder person, but, you know, if I'm driving on the highway, if I'm being clocked in that moment, I want to know about it, because, you know, I might decide to pass the car later, or, you know, just want to make sure that I'm paying attention to my speed if I'm being clocked, for sure. The Genesis line is equivalent to what the Lexus line was from the 89 to 95. Terrific quality, refinement, and value for the money. My guess is in the next 5 years, the cost of any Genesis will be equal to its nearest Lexus competitor. Well, we'll see. And it says good review. Thank you. All right. You got to check out this guy's channel. He's really, go ahead and subscribe to his channel, because he really does a lot of work. He's a young man that does the drive and be driven guy. He does a lot of hard work, and he goes through an unbelievable amount of you know, information and energy put into his videos. You got to check it out. So he's saying it looks good. The refreshed G80 looks stellar and a lot more premium. All right. Yeah, this is where another person asked me only certain types of companies. So basically saying some companies do not want me to film their cars. They just don't understand. Or they don't, you know, whatever. I think they don't understand. I don't think they get what I'm trying to do, but... Wow, I bought a loaded 12 Crew all-wheel drive with 21K for 16K. This is kind of pricey. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Yeah, 2012. for 16. You can buy a brand new. You could buy a brand new 2017 right now. A friend of mine did this, and it was like about $16,000 for a brand new one. So yeah, that is kind of pricey. Alright, got some stuff here, guys. Wow. Tucson 2017. It's funny, I was there doing video in that car, and I finished and I went over to get a Tucson, the midnight, I think it's the midnight edition or night edition or something like that, and they couldn't find the key. So I don't know what the deal was, but basically, I'm gonna have to go back. But I intended to do the Tucson, but they couldn't find the key, and then that's the particular one I wanted to do. So I was like, well, I'll just do it another time. All right, so Donald L says it's a nice car. I agree. All right, great video, Mike. Really love this is my bro right here. Great video, Mike. Really loving the new Genesis. Do you have any plans reviewing the 18G80 Sport? Yeah, that's the one with the turbo and all that. So yeah, I was like, hopefully, I really want to see it. This guy says, and so yeah, I'm gonna do it as soon as they arrive. They're in transit right now to the dealership. All right, Toyota's most expensive SUV is missing a power tailgate. Okay, so the Land Cruiser has a split tailgate. So you have the bottom portion that folds down, and then the top portion that lifts up. So a power tailgate doesn't really make much sense on that particular vehicle, unless you change the design completely and do away with that whole tailgate thing. Power folding third row seat. Well, the same issue. It's a different type of seat. They fold up onto the side, and they kind of do that automatically, so it doesn't really match. Power thigh extension, power lumbar for passenger seat. Let's go ahead and open this up a little bit more on the cheaper. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason why they chose to have it different. 2018 Camry. As soon as they get it at the dealership, I'm definitely doing the new Camry. Can't wait. All right, amazing job. Keep up the good work. I left a like. Thank you very much. Love how the refreshed on the outside for 2018. Finally. Alright, so this guy's saying how people mistake it for a Benz or an Audi. 17 Porsche Panamera. Now, I did a Porsche Panamera before, but it was a used car, and didn't really do so well as far as the views and all that stuff. So, I don't have access to new Porsches, so maybe in the future, hopefully, but as it is right now, I don't have access to them. Looks nice, but halogen reflectors. Yeah, that car needs is ready for an update there. I understand that. But there's a lot of cars that still use halogen, and halogen is it's a way. I mean, it's still effective, and I know every car, just because it's a 2017 model, doesn't mean they're all the same, So you have the spectrum of different options, offerings that vehicles have. So, just because it's a 17 model doesn't mean it's the top of the line 17 model. But yeah, I know what you mean as far as that particular car. Little round circles, little square circles. And so I guess he's referring to the way I say little round circles. I guess this little redundant, little round and circle is basically the same thing. But that's the way I say it because it's a little fun. So it's add a little fun to the video. So looks like just like I say backseat drivers. People are like, hey, what's this backseat driver crap? It's like, have you never heard that term before? It's just for fun. Looks like the Hyundai every day is getting better. Like Mike, saludos Desde Mexico. Awesome. All right. Yeah, but thanks, man, and thanks for Mexico. Awesome people in Mexico. We all know that. All right, you guys didn't replace the spare tire with one to match the other 4. I don't think they did. If you were to do that, it would cost a significant amount of money. That would be a huge, I don't know, $500 or $600 more, and then basically it's just going to get ruined under there. Unless you have, planning on getting flat tires regularly. So like say if you're off-roading with a Wrangler, you notice the Wrangler, the tire is on the back, so it's not underneath the vehicle, and also it's on a more off-road rocky, like you can go on all these off-road stuff, and there's a higher chance of getting a flat tire, in which you'd have to change the spare tire, but then you can change it right off the back of the vehicle. But having it underneath the vehicle, where it's, all that stuff's going to dry rot and get chips and dirt all over it, and have a nice rim like that and that nice new tire under there with all that money, and the chances of you getting a flat is very low on these particular vehicles, especially with those tires. They can hold 80 pounds of pressure. They're really thick-walled. So, cost and benefits. Me personally, I wouldn't have done it, so I could understand why they didn't. Alright, nice video. Just traded in a 2015 Hyundai Genesis for an exact match to this 2018 G80. Alright, awesome, man. Congrats on that. Okay, so this is my comment. Full details, window sticker, and specs. So, I tried to, when the dealerships have a listing on their website in which you can get all the measurements and all kinds of specs, also a downloadable PDF window sticker, so you can actually look at it in detail and zoom in and all that stuff, and I try to put the link there so that way you can check it out. It kind of gives you a really good idea of the options and also the standard equipment and everything. So having a downloadable window sticker is fantastic. So this guy was first, and it's amazing. It's amazing how fast people can make a comment. It's like I hit publish, and then I hit the back button on the browser to go back to the, my other screen, and all of a sudden, bam, there's already a comment. So it is an accomplishment, I suppose. All right. This guy said, want to see something cool? Double click the unlock button on the key fob, but hold down the second click, it rolls down the front windows. Awesome. Wheels are terrible. What was the dealer thinking? Chrome has no place on a Wrangler. So actually it wasn't the dealer that picked it out, it was the actual customer, the person who bought the Wrangler. They're the ones that picked out the wheels. And, hey, it's their money, they do what they want. So what's wrong with Chrome? It looks awesome. I thought it looked cool. This person's like, ugly. It's like, okay. 2008 Ford Focus. Alright. Okay, so this is on the new ZR2. Now this isn't just a regular Colorado. This is a really awesome off-road capable, like, Baja truck. I was really impressed with it. So, okay, so this guy's saying, okay, very good in-depth review of all the features of the new Colorado ZR2. In fact, too good. Okay, so what happens to all the electronic stuff, both off-road modes and all the convenience things, when the warranty runs out? How will it hold up after severe off-road use? Alright, let's see here. For a rock crawler, I have 3 choices. 1, the Colorado ZR2, $43,000 list with its electronic gizmos and automatic transmission. 2, Jeep Wrangler Rubicon Hard Rock, the $43,000 list with the metal as opposed to hollow plastic bumpers. The bumpers have plastic on the outside. They're not hollow. I can guarantee you that. Even Wrangler has bumper plastic around a lot of their bumpers, so it's actually good, because if you were to bump into something, you don't want to be you want to have a little bit of a cushion there to where before it actually gets to the metal, So it's a little bit of a give, a little bit of a relief from all the pressure there. So, all right, 6-speed manual, or search around for a used market for a 95 or so Silverado regular cab with 6-speed manual for $5,000 in end spin. Yeah, I don't think that's in the same league as far as getting an old 95 truck to compete with the ZR2. That's doesn't make much sense to me, but hey, whatever. If that's what if that's the kind of stuff that you're into, then go for it. Enjoyed the review. Subscribe. Thank you very much. Please make a video of this at night. Yeah, I have a Dodge Durango. It's like a 2015, which not a lot of has changed, but it's not a Citadel, so I can understand that. But yeah, that would look awesome at night. And my night videos are typically in the wintertime where it gets darker earlier. Otherwise, because the dealership in the summertime, the dealership closes before it gets dark, so I don't really have access to the vehicles in a dark environment. So, and even in the wintertime, it's still a challenge to try to, squeeze in there and do a night video. So I'll definitely do my best to do, I want to do all cars and trucks and SUVs and everything, and all trim levels of all cars and all manufacturers at night. It's just I don't always have the opportunity to. Alright, lol. This guy's lolling already. The Passats in the US are so crappy compared to the EU. Okay. Why would they I don't know, are they really that different? Or are you just looking at a different trim level? I noticed that's what happened. I'll do a video of a pretty basic vehicle, and since the ones they saw in their area are a different trim level, they think they're different, but I don't know. Maybe they are different. My next car, hopefully, Brody's. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what the Brody's thing is, but yeah, that's a sweet car. If that's your next car, then that's a good goal to have. That's nice. Base model 5-seaters in the CHR. Yeah, I don't know exactly. You'll have. That's the LX. You can check their website and see what the different options are there, and see what the lowest you can get as far as the base model. And I try to do base models too, as much as I can, so hopefully I'll be able to do that. This guy's like, one day, yeah, that's a good goal. I mean, the LC 500, that was a very impressive vehicle. I mean, it's expensive too, so that is a significant goal, to be able to increase your income and increase your well, I guess just the income really on that particular car, to the point where you can make sense of buying a car that price. So yeah, that's a good goal. All right, 1639. Okay, so this is a Subaru Outback. It was a test drive in this particular vehicle, and the salesperson was driving it, and he says, I have no hands or feet on the wheel. And it's like, well, I hope not, about your feet, that is. So yeah, he was I guess he was trying to say that he's driving. He doesn't have his feet on the pedals and his hands on the wheel, and it's basically doing everything by itself, as far as turning the steering wheel and keeping at a set speed. So yeah, my dad has a 2015 one. It is badass, awesome. Yeah, that is an awesome car. Excellent in detail review. That's what I wanted to go for. That that particular car, or SUV, the Atlas, was one of those type of deals where I had to really jump in there at like 7:30 in the morning to try to get access to that car, because they were selling so quick. And in the very beginning, you'll see I parked it out in front of the dealership because there was nobody really there yet, and kind of just got some shots of it. And that was it's when a very new vehicle comes in, that everybody wants to see it. The customers want to see it. The salespeople want to see it, and it's getting all this attention, and so it's hard to do a video because they're constantly going over there, and people want to take it for test drives and all that stuff, and it takes me a while to film a vehicle. So I was actually able to go ahead and film that one and get it done with plenty of time, because they did have another one there, and I don't know if you saw in the background in the front of the dealership there was another one, so that way they can divert their attention over there while I was actually trying to do a really detailed video on this one and try to show it off as much as possible. And I was really excited about that too. Still am excited. Looks like Nissan Murano, Juke, and Chevy, but finally Toyota have a semi-fancy car. Huh, okay. Yeah, it's a very unique styling. Alright, I have one of those. They have a Durango. They're saying they have one of those, but it's red and black, and it's a 2018 SRT8 Hellcat. Okay? A Hellcat SRT8 Durango. They don't use the term SRT8 anymore, and the 2018s haven't been released, and they don't even call it a Hellcat. I don't think it's something, I don't know, but anyways, I don't know. That's one of those comments where it's hard to take it too seriously. Why don't you make a video? If you have one, go ahead and make a full video of it. Put it on your channel. That would substantiate your claim there. Oh, so this is funny. Why do you turn one turn signal, but not the hazard? So the hazards would just turn on both sides at the same time, flashing, and it would basically have the same effect. And I was like, well, let's see. It doesn't really show in this particular screen, it doesn't show my response, but I said, that's a good question. So basically, when I was doing the headlight shots, and I would turn the wheel so that way the wheel was popping out, and then I would really zoom in to one side, and I was doing my headlight shots that way so they can see what the headlights and all the lights there in the front look like, and I was like basically just doing half the car. So I just put the turn signal on, because I was only showing that side anyway, so it didn't matter. It wouldn't matter if I had the flashers on everything, all four sides. But then later on, I decided to zoom out and do the whole front of the car, but I maintained the turn signal portion. It was just kind of habit, just flip the turn signal on. One thing is you can reach in and turn the turn signal on easier than you can go and find the button for the flasher. So just reach in, turn the turn signal on, you get to see what it looks like. And even though it's only flashing on one side, I guess you can see what it looks like without it flashing, I guess. So just out of a habit that I started doing on one side, and just kind of maintain that, even though I'm showing the full front of the vehicle now instead of just half. Alright, so to anyone interested by a 2017 Sport S, they now come with BFG KO2 pure awesomeness. At least in Canada they do. It's interesting that the Canada, hear this a lot, that Canadian models are slightly different and usually a little bit better. Also get LEDs. You shall not regret it. Not sure you can still order 17 though. Alright. I'm getting this car soon, hopefully Monday. Might get the one with the optional alloy wheels and heated seats though. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I can keep going forever here because there's so many comments. And this guy's like, I was nearly sold right up to the push button transmission. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but it's one of those things where you have to get used to. But a lot of shifters now are electronic either way. Whether you're sliding it or whatever, it's still electronic. It's electronically controlled anyway. So, I understand if that's, I wouldn't let that limit yourself on your options though, because it is something that you can get used to, and you might like it better. You don't know until you actually try it. But the main thing is that if the vehicle has all the other features that you want in the price range and all that stuff, but you would forego it just because of that little issue, I don't know. I would recommend, you know, overlooking that at least for until you narrow down your choices a little bit better, and then, you know, that could be kind of add that in as a final factor, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video now because it's going on forever. So that's one day's comments there on my channel. So you can see it goes quite fast. We'll check and see if there's a new one. Okay, so if you like this video, if you like me going over the comments, I might be able to do it like every day. I don't know. So let me know what you think, and keep making comments, and I'll try to respond. I don't respond to every single comment. First of all, it's really hard to do. Another thing is some people have questions that are, you know, very specific, and I would have to like literally stop what I'm doing and try to look it up and try to find the answer and all that stuff. And sometimes I do that, but you know, a lot of times I just leave that question there, and you know, a lot of people that are more familiar with that particular issue will answer the question or whatever. But you know, that's a lot of reason. That's the reason why I don't answer every single question, is because you can see there's a lot of comments, but also, you know, some of them are just something that I'll have. Now, sometimes I won't answer it because I answer it actually in the video. So if you actually watch the video, the question is answered already. I already answered the question, you know. So that's why sometimes I'm like, well, if you watch the video, then you'll get a response. You get an answer. So anyways, let me know what you think of this particular video, and sorry about the whole vertical thing, but I am filming it with my cell phone here, and it has that vertical thing. It doesn't, you know, do the whole horizontal thing. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.